Good morning, Algonquin College community. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to AC Day 1. We're just going to wait for a few people to join on. I see lots of people joining already. This is awesome. Good morning, everyone. Hello, folks. Good morning. Welcome to AC Day 1. This is so awesome. We're so excited to have you here. Just going to give it a couple more seconds for a few more people to join, and then we'll begin. Wow, look at all the people joining. This is so exciting. All right, folks, so I think we'll begin. So good morning, everyone. Hello, Kirby. Hello, Seema in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to AC Day 1. This is a big day, an exciting day. We are so excited to have you. My name is Samantha, and I work at Algonquin College on the events team. And I'm joined by Matt Wheatley from the Co-op department, and we are here to do a little presentation for you folks about co-op education at Algonquin College. But before I hand over the floor to Matt, I'm just going to give a quick housekeeping and introduction. So just give me a second here, folks. So please feel free to use the chat tab during this event today. Engage with your college community, make new friends. That's what we want you to get out of ACD1. We want you to make new friends, make connections at Algonquin. So feel free to use the chat tab. If you need closed captionings, you can enable it by pressing the CC icon along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. Please hold your questions until the Q&A portion of this event. We'll do about 15 to 10 minutes at the end of the event for a Q&A session. And you can either raise your hand to ask your question out loud, or you can type your question into the Q&A tab and we'll answer it from there. If you're planning on being on campus at all this fall, please make sure to give yourself enough time to go through the COVID-19 screening process. And please check out the Algonquin College vaccination policy and FAQ documents before heading over. And we'll share a link to that in the chat in a minute. And this event is being recorded and will be available to watch on the AC orientation page in the coming days. So folks, again, thank you for joining us. And we are lucky to have Matt from Co-op here today. And Matt, I'm going to hand over the floor to you. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you very much, Samantha. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Algonquin College. I am a graduate of Algonquin College from the early 90s. I have a public relations diploma, and I'm also a business graduate from university. So welcome. I think you've made a great choice coming to Algonquin College. It is a wonderful experience, and we want you to have a good co-op experience as well. So I have 8 slides here. We're going to go through them fairly quickly, and I will be making time at the end of the presentation for questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or wait until afterwards, and we'll get to them then. So Ahmed, if we can go to the next slide, that'd be great. Okay, so again, my name is Matt Wheatley. I perform stakeholder relations. Basically, my job, in essence, is to get companies to consider hiring our students. And I must admit that Algonquin College students have a wonderful reputation. If you go downtown and look at any building that has a business sign on it, you can pretty much bet that they've employed an Algonquin Co-op student at one time or another. So for those of you coming into college and you're not quite sure what the format of co-op is, I'll quickly explain it. It's a little bit different from high school co-op. In high school co-op, you work maybe 1 or 2 or 3 days a week for a couple of hours. You don't get paid, or you might get paid to get academic credit. That is not what co-op is about here. Ours is a little bit more, say, professional and related to your program of study. We also have something called clinical placements, practicums, field placements here at Algonquin College. Those are often less than 16 weeks, maybe unpaid, part-time hours, that type of thing. With co-op, and if we can get, with co-op, it is a paid work term. So throughout the course of your academics, you're going to have in-class sessions of academics. So a semester like this one, where you'll be going to classes. And then if you're in a co-op program, when you are doing your co-op, that is also a co-op study term, but your classroom is actually the work environment. So you're going to be getting paid. It's going to be full-time hours. The work is going to be related to your field of study, and you're going to gain academic credit for it. In our degree programs here at Algonquin College, and remember, I don't know what program you're here on at Algonquin College. If you're in a degree program, co-ops are absolutely mandatory, meaning you have to do it to graduate from your program of study. For the majority of our other programs, co-op is optional, meaning you do not have to do it if you do not want to do it. However, co-op is a wonderful stepping stone to starting your career. Oh, excuse me, I'll use me as an example. When I came back to Algonquin College, I had been bartending for several years and I wanted to change careers. And what I did was I immersed myself into studies, and throughout that, my focus wasn't to get fantastic grades, it was to get fantastic grades so that I could start my career. And fortunately enough, that was 26 years ago, and I've been at Algonquin College ever since. Next slide, please, Amen. Some facts about co-op, and these are general facts, but if you are in a co-op program, there are some wonderful opportunities to be gained from co-op. Basically, it helps you gain skills and industry connections while you're a student. And while you're under the umbrella of Algonquin College student, it is much easier to gain employment than if you are as a graduate. So our goal here is for you to not only get classes and graduate with a diploma or advanced diploma or degree or certificate, it is to graduate and have a professional looking resume that reflects real-time skills, meaning that you've got work experience and you can hit the ground running. So another bullet on here, it says 90% of co-op students secure full-time employment post-graduation with a lower debt level, meaning they can secure jobs quicker and they have lower debt upon graduating because some of those semesters have been dedicated towards making money in your co-op work term. In addition, when a student graduates from co-op, they are more likely to gain a job quicker and with better pay upon graduation. So again, it really gives you a leg up in starting your career. So I strongly urge you to consider it. Next slide, please. We in the co-op department have about 18 staff members. We have co-op student advisors that are exclusive to particular programs. So throughout your journey in co-op, whether it's in the prep term, the search term, or the work term, you have a co-op student advisor that you can bounce questions off of. Excuse me. We also have co-op job developers. These people are assigned programs of study, and they're dedicated to search for employment opportunities in those fields of study. There's a team of about 4 or 5 of us, and they're very skilled and dedicated. And I can tell you again that we gain many opportunities for our students. No jobs are handed to students whatsoever. It is an open competition, and every student needs to put their best foot forward to gain employment. But I can tell you this, our industry partners, the companies in the community, including the government, have bought into hiring our students. We also have an employer relations team. Those are 3 members of our team who only deal with client care, meaning that once the job gets posted here at the Woodruff campus, we just don't let it sit there. We reach out to the employer, we urge them to interview, we ask them if they have any questions, we facilitate them getting our students hired. So it's a very cohesive unit. We're a great team, and we also work closely with your faculty. So your faculty, when you meet them on throughout the week, they'll be very familiar with the co-op team. And like I said, we work together to achieve the best possible results for our students. Remember, co-op is not a guarantee. You still have to make effort, but again, we've got a lot of opportunity. Next slide. So again, I touched on this really quickly, but I'll go through it. You can see a visual of it. A co-op job is a full-time job, 35 plus hours a week. It's got to be paid. So if you're doing volunteerism, that is not a co-op job. It has to be a minimum of 16 weeks, 4 months or longer. Some programs have co-op terms where the program goes out back to back, meaning that the student is doing 8 consecutive months of work. Some only have 4. It really depends on your program. And like I said, we can show you what your progression is when we come and meet you for orientation on day one in the next several weeks, assuming that you're going out on co-op next summer. Again, I'm generalizing only because we have a lot of students in a lot of different programs and they all go out at different times. The workplace I wanted to mention is your classroom. So again, when you go out on co-op and you are getting dressed and going to work, whether it's virtual or in person, you are still a student at Algonquin College. So this is your opportunity to develop the skills that you have learned in the classroom and apply them into the classroom. And then we have something called reflective learning, where once a student has done the co-op term, they come back into the classroom and they apply what they learned on the job in the classroom. So it's a very holistic approach, I dare say, and it's a one that is very successful in students graduating from Algonquin College. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I think it's somewhere around the line of 97% of our students upon successfully completing co-op graduate from their program of study. So again, if you're successful in co-op, you're very likely to be successful in your academic term. And the one thing that I want to point out is co-op is a time to gain confidence in your field. When we recruit our employers, we tell our employers that our students are very skilled and very strong, but they also know that you have at times very little work experience or very little work experience in this particular industry. They know that. So again, my advice to you is, if you are willing to learn and you are willing to participate and grow on the job, you will be successful in co-op. You do not have to go into a co-op job knowing everything about everything on the job. That is what you're there to do. You're there to learn and to participate and grow with the group. So don't feel like you have to know everything. Upon entering the job, you will learn. Next slide, please. Here are some of the co-op programs. This is a hot hyperlink. So if you can click on that, if possible, Ahmed. Basically, I just wanted to show you a link of all of the co-op programs at Algonquin College. Like I said, we have about 52 of them, and not every co-op program has an element, has that paid component to it. So if you go to algonquincollege.com/co-op, you will see the list of all of our programs of study here, where co-op is a part of your program. It also indicates when the students go out on their work term. So again, and we can make this presentation available to you all, but not every program at Algonquin is a co-op program. If you are unsure, simply go to your program website and it should say co-op version or non-co-op version. All right, next slide, please. Okay, there we go. We also have something called Entrepreneurial Co-op, which is e-co-op. So traditionally co-op is where you apply to a job, you get an interview, they hire you, and you go into a work setting and you work for that and you get paid just like you would any other employee. That's a common co-op. Entrepreneurial co-op is for somebody who is very entrepreneurial, who perhaps wants to start their own business. So this wouldn't be working for a company, it's basically working for yourself. So you wouldn't be getting paid for this opportunity. That's the kind of the catch of e-co-op. But you are able to put time aside in your academics to pursue your business idea. So again, myself, I'm a business graduate. One of my last courses was a course called Final Work Plan, which is basically creating a business plan. This is basically the same idea. So instead of going out working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday in an office, you are going to be working for yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll be exclusively working all by yourself. We are going to assign you a mentor, and that mentor could be a business professional in the industry. It could be a faculty member. It could really be anybody that is in a position that can offer you guidance and advice in your entrepreneurial co-op. You do not have to show that the business is profitable in entrepreneurial co-op, but I do want to stress that ideally any business will be successful financially. So again, you do not need to make a profit, but If you are pursuing a business plan that doesn't seem to make sense, our mentors will sort you out. But again, just another option for you students. If, for example, you don't want to do a traditional co-op, there is e-co-op available as well. Next slide, please. ECE, by the way, I just saw the question in the chat, that is early childhood education, does not have a co-op element to it. They do have a form of field placement, but you'd want to refer to your faculty for that as well. Yasmin for hospitality, hotel and restaurant operations. As of yet, it is not a co-op program, but our Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism is a co-op program. So again, have a look at your program of study and see if it's a co-op program. And if it isn't, you can pretty much expect that it does have some form of will at Algonquin College. Okay, if we can just click on the slide, Ahmed, so we can click on it. Perfect. We have a lot of resources here at Algonquin College. We probably have a lot of students. We can go back to that slide. Perfect. Thank you. We have a lot of international students here as well. We have a lot of traditional Canadians, non-traditional Canadians. Doesn't matter where you come from or who we are. In this culture, asking for help is a sign of strength. So we have people that can help you. So if you're looking for a part-time job or a summer job or a graduate job, we have the Employment Support Center. Basically what they do is they will help you prepare a resume, cover letter, do mock interviews for you, and allow you access to their database to search for employment opportunities. We have the Learning Support Center. So if you're struggling in your academics, remember in co-op, you need to carry a certain GPA to get into co-op. If you are struggling with your academics, consider the Learning Support Center. They offer wonderful opportunities for our students to get better grades. There is, of course, the International Education Center. I worked there for 10 years. If you are an international student and if you have questions about your time here at Algonquin College or the community or whatever, visit the International Education Center. They're very, very skilled people and they know what they're doing. We also have CAL, which is the Center for Accessible Learning. That is a opportunity for students that if they need additional services to go and visit with them. We urge people that if you do have a disability to make it known to CAL, because they will be able to help you progress through not only your academics, but your co-op work term as well. And then of course we have counseling. So we know that we're in a pandemic. We know that we've all been stuck in our basements for several months and it can be a very stressful time. So if you have issues that are outside of your academics and you want to talk to somebody, consider counseling. It's a excellent service that we provide and it's free of charge. Next slide, please. Okay, we have 3 phases of co-op, and I'm going to touch on this very, very quickly, but it's not like co-op where, let's say you're scheduled to go out and work next summer. It's not like I'm going to call you up in April and say, oh, by the way, you're working here. It does not work like that. 2 semesters before you're scheduled to work, there is a prep term. So you'll see on your timetable that you'll be doing something called a Cooperative Education Readiness Activity. That is a series of 11 or 12 different workshops. 3 of them are in person or virtual in person, and it prepares you for the search. So there's writing a cover letter, doing resume, preparing mock interview, deciding where you should, doing a self-directed job search. All of that is taught in the prep term. Then you have the search term, which is generally 4 to 6 months long, where you apply democratically to the jobs that interest you on our database. The jobs on our database will be exclusive to your program of study, but we urge you to always read through the job posting, because all of our employers are looking for something a little bit different. And so I urge you, if you want to know more about the company, you want to know more about the job, review the job posting, do an online search of the company. You'll get some wonderful information in preparation for that potential interview that you might have. And then lastly is the work term. And that's basically where you go in and you work for an employer, you get paid, and as you would any other employee. Basically, there are deliverables and there are outcomes, and you need to match them basically by doing the work. While you're out on the work term, please remember that there are assignments to complete. Like I said, when you're doing a co-op work term, you get academic credit for it. And just doing the work is great. And we urge you to focus on that. But there are assignments that need to be completed. So please remember that as we do the prep term, we will explain to you what the work term is going to shape up to be. But remember, there are assignments on the work term. Okay, next slide. And really, that's about it. Now, we are located, the co-op department is located between B and C building, basically C226. It overlooks the courtyard, and we are right above the, I can't think of the name of the building, the name of the room, but we're right near the main library. So we're not formally at that location yet. We are all working remotely. But I can tell you this, the last 4 terms that we've been involved with the pandemic, our numbers have not dipped as far as the number of students working. The Ottawa is very resilient, and we've been very fortunate to have our students seek and gain work opportunities during this pandemic. Most of the work opportunities that we're doing right now are virtual. But as people get vaccinated and as the world starts to open up, we can expect that those virtual jobs will then go to in-person activities. And one thing I must note is I am not going to tell you to get vaccinated or not, but the majority of our employers are seeking out people that are vaccinated, or they are asking our students who are going to work there to follow their policies, which they need to be vaccinated if you're working in person. So all of that to say, welcome to Algonquin College. Today is day 1. I threw a lot of information at you, but take a look at your program website, see if you have a co-op program, and find out when you're going to be going out. And like I said, expect the co-op department to do outreach to your program about 8 before you're scheduled to do a co-op work term. So thank you again. My name is Matt Wheatley. I really appreciate it. Samantha, Ahmed, thank you so much for the help today.
Awesome, Matt. Thank you so much. So Matthew, we have quite a few questions in the Q&A, so if you don't mind answering a few of them. And folks, if we don't get through all the questions right now, we do have another session at 1 p.m. with Matt. So please, if you want more information, please feel free to join that session at 1 p.m. So Matt, my first question is from Victoria. She's asking, I am in the therapeutic recreation program and I have to complete 560 hours for my field placement between the months of May and August. If these placements are not usually paid, what has been your experience with the school work balance? Okay, so I'm not sure I can actually answer that, Victoria. The therapeutic recreation program, if I have that right, is not a co-op program. You've identified that it has 560 hours of field placement between 3 months. So doing the math very quickly, it sounds like it's going to be a full-time, non-paid work term, meaning that you're going to gain credit for it. It's part of your program of study. We call it work integrated learning, but it's actually not a co-op program. So I hope that your question, it's a little bit vague, but again, refer to the co-op website to see what programs are offered as co-op. Sorry, Samantha, go ahead. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Matt. So my next question is from an anonymous person, and they're asking, you said co-op is not guaranteed, but at the same time, it's mandatory to graduate. Yeah, sorry, I might have misspoke. We have 52 co-op programs at Algonquin College. The degree programs to graduate means that you have to do co-op. It's no ifs, ands, you absolutely have to do it to graduate. For all of our other programs, co-op is basically optional. So if you're in computer programmer or you're in computer systems technician, you do not have to participate in co-op to graduate if you don't want to. I urge you to do it. I strongly consider you to do it. But if you don't, that's okay as well. You will graduate. But again, in a degree program, it's not an option. You have to do it to graduate. Okay, thank you, Matt. So this question is from Salah, and it's, can I do a co-op while I'm in my program pre-health? And is it possible to do co-op while your program is delivered remotely?
Okay, so the pre-health program is a non-co-op program. So you will not be doing co-op while you're in the pre-health program. They might have a form of work integrated learning where you do some sort of field placement or practicum. Again, the college is a very big place, and I'm not exactly sure about that particular program, but I urge you to check your program website. And that would be my first question to your faculty once you get into class is what type of work integrated learning are we going to be doing, and is it paid?
Awesome, thank you, Matt. So this is another one from an anonymous attendee. They're asking, what is our responsibility as a co-op student? And what is the difference between a co-op student and a non-co-op student?
Okay, so that's kind of a loaded question, but co-op student will be participating in a work experience while they are a student. So if you're in a non-traditional program, or sorry, if you're in a regular program that doesn't have a co-op, you'll be doing academic studies just like you would be, you know, like in high school where it's semester based and, you know, once you've done all your classes, you graduate. In the co-op program, you will do study, as an example, you will do study, and then you'll go out and work for full time for 4 months, and then you might return to the classroom, or you might do another co-op term. It really depends on your program study. So co-op is a academic credit for to graduate. And again, if you're in a non-co-op, sorry, if you're in a optional co-op program, that means you do not have to participate in co-op graduate. Please just remember that. Sorry, go ahead, Samantha.
Okay, thank you, Matt. So we have someone with their hand raised, so I'm just going to unmute them so that they can. So Danik, I just unmuted you, or I asked you to unmute. And
hi. The website link you gave me for like the recorded version of this video.
yeah.
I don't like see necessarily a spot to like find the videos.
So Danik, it's going to take a while for us to actually, not a while, but a couple of days at least for us to actually post them because we have to do a bit of editing and then we have to post them to the website. So in a couple of days, check back and you'll see all the recordings.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
Sorry, Samantha, there was one question.
Yeah, Matt.
I'd like to refer to really quickly. It says, well, why the business admin majors, accounting or finance do not have a co-op option? Co-op is decided by the actual school and co-op department. So sometimes we'll do research to decide if a co-op program is of value or not to this particular industry. Business admin, for the most part, is a co-op program, but you're right, accounting or finance are not co-op options. And that is because either the school, those particular programs didn't want to pursue it, or it was identified that it would not work in this format. Again, that's kind of a loaded question. It's more than just a 2-minute answer, but essentially, yes, you've hit it on the head. Some business admin programs are very successful as co-op and others do not do it at all. Business admin marketing comes with a co-op pro option. The 2-year marketing does, yes. Again, please refer to algonquincollege.com/co-op for what programs are co-op and which ones are not. Law clerk does not co-op.
Okay.
Are there many co-op opportunities outside of the area? Sorry, I'm just reading this question from Carol. Carol, we focus most of our job development in the Ottawa area. However, we do look in the GTA and throughout Canada as well. So like I said, the majority of jobs that you will see will be in the Ottawa area, but we are not just exclusive to the Ottawa area. We've had students working abroad. We've had students working in Vancouver. We've had students working in Toronto or elsewhere. So it really doesn't matter the location of your job. And as a matter of fact, it's helped the remote work format has helped our students gain opportunities when they couldn't before because they were just in another city.
Okay, so Matt, I think that's all the time we have for now. But folks, I see that there's lots of questions left. So please, if you have more questions, feel free to join us at 1 p.m. with Matt will be back again. And Matthew, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today. That was really informative and super helpful. And thank you everyone for joining us for one of the AC Day 1 events. We're so happy to have you here today. If you're interested in joining another AC Day 1 session today, you can reference the AC Day 1 magazine that was sent to you via your Algonquin College email account, or you can check out the AC Day 1 event page that we'll share in the chat in a minute. And yes, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, folks.
Welcome.